Another piece of Winona's history has gone up in flames. Nearly a year to the date of a fire which destroyed 3 buildings in Winona's historic downtown district, the former YWCA building, located at 223 Center Street, was destroyed by fire. Assistant Fire Chief Jason Teusch said the first call came in at around 11:05 a.m., with firemen arriving on the scene shortly thereafter.
Yes, as both units responded, both stations responded, it was noted that there was a heavy column of smoke, and upon our arrival, Winona Fire Department began stretching lines and getting water supply. We extended our aerial ladder and began to flow water. As we were responding, Captain Corcoran paged in some additional agencies, Wilson Fire Department, St. Charles Fire Department, Goodview Fire Department, Goodview Police Department. There's numerous Winona Police Department agencies there. Winona County Sheriff was there. We had to call XL Energy for gas and power. Shut off. It was pretty crowded in the alley as far as power lines.
In all, some 80 firefighters engaged in battling the blaze, which destroyed the original part of the structure built in 1912. Captain Joel Corcoran of the Winona Fire Department talked about the extent of the damage he saw from his perch atop an aerial hose.
The building has a truss roof, and those were made out of steel, and they actually had melted and warped to the point where the roof came down and some of the walls fell away to one side of the building.
The new addition appears to have survived with little damage, thanks in part to a firewall and fire doors installed when it was built in 1982.
I don't know what there is for smoke damage. Haven't got in there yet, but it appeared at this point that it's all intact. When they added on, they had a fire partition wall, and they had fire doors on the inside. We sent the crew in there, and there was doors that were closed. There was a set of double doors that they thought were left open a little bit. They were able to shut them, and basically just a fire stop right there. Fire had no way to get in.
Because of the intensity of the fire and the thick smoke it produced, Winona police evacuated about a half-dozen businesses near the building. The Winona County Courthouse was also shut down for a period of time due to smoke from the fire. Several other businesses were forced to close when XL Energy cut power to the YWCA building.
In the beginning stages of the fire, we were just unsure of what was going to happen, so everybody left, and nobody that we are aware of reported any injuries, which was the goal. So.
The building has been home to Kidsport Gymnastics since the fall of 2000. According to Kidsport owner Rob Murray, he and a small group of gymnasts had been training in the building but noticed nothing awry when they left at about 8:30 a.m.
It's been, we're in on the new side. That's where those workouts occur. But we open up and they walk through from the old side into the new side, down to the locker rooms. But yeah, no indication, so I'm not sure.
According to Murray, the older portion of the building was used for office space but did include some training areas. Without being able to get inside to assess the damage, Murray was optimistic that much of the equipment housed in the newer portion of the building would be okay.
Well, happily, the primary gym where we have the majority of the equipment, it sounds like that might be safe. So from the looks of things, I would guess that there's water damage over there and there's probably smoke damage, but it doesn't sound presently like there's any fire damage. Fire door is held and there's a pretty thick wall between. So depending on how it affects the structure, without the old building, we have kind of limited access to the new building. So we'll have to see. I would imagine it would be, my understanding is that the old side is not going to make it, so I think that will be torn down. What we can do with the building as it is, if we can make it work, I'd love to stay right here. I'm probably inordinately attached to this building. I've been it's hard to imagine. I really love the old side, and architecture, it was interesting, and it was a little tough as a gym with the newer facilities, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it gave a lot of character to our facility. It's not the style that a lot of gymnastics facilities are in now. They're very warehouse and very effective, but I really love that part of the gym. That's probably going to be a hard part of it, but I don't presently see us being anywhere else, but I don't see us being able to get back in anytime in the near future, so we're going to be working for a plan B.
The newer building contained the primary training gym, which, in addition to kids sport competitive teams, was also home to the Winona Senior High gymnastics program and Lexi Ramler, a local gymnast who recently returned from competing in the P&G National Championships.
We had one of our athletes just came back from USA Championships, P&G Championships in Pittsburgh, and it was a good competitive season, and we're looking, this will be her first senior elite season, and she was doing great when she came back, and we'd like to stay on track with that. So, but you know, she and a number of athletes, I'd really like to see them be able to maintain their training schedule. So, as soon as we know what's possible here, we're going to try and figure out what we're going to do from this moment until, you know, until we can either get back in or we have another plan.
Officials say no one was hurt in the fire. Tayush said the state fire marshal has begun the investigation into what caused the blaze. It was in the early morning hours of September 13th in 2013 when fire destroyed 3 buildings in downtown Winona.